to another edition of the How Long to Beat podcast, the podcast by the community for the community. My name is Leah, and I am joined by my co-host Roy,
the one and only peanut butter podcaster,
and Matt.
Good day.
Diallo is still missing in action. He has paused this podcast and is playing real life. So we will await his return in a future episode. But this week, we will again be going over what we've beaten, retired, and played recently in games. And then we will discuss the topic of sports games, what drew us to them, and what sports have they led to us watching on TV or to play in real life. Let's get into it. Who wants to start with what they've beaten recently?
I'm the only one who cleaned my plate, apparently. I have beaten 2 games. I'm very disappointed in all of you.
Appropriate name on the first game.
Yeah.
The first game being Time Flies, the hypest new bug game in 2025. I will die on this hill. Silk Song Who. Time Flies is a recent indie release that I have actually been waiting for a couple of years, ever since it was like showcased briefly in some Day of the Dev segment of Summer Games Fest. Like I think 2 or 3 years ago. It's been a while, and the development has been kind of quiet. So when it actually released, I think by now 2 months ago, earlier this year in the summer, I was actually incredibly hyped for it. And once I got done with Ninja Gaiden, which I talked about last episode, I immediately jumped on Time Flies, which is in terms of the art style, it's very simplistic. It's a black and white sort of pixel style game where you control a housefly exploring different environments on a 2D plane, basically, and try to get your bucket list done before you kick the bucket as a housefly. As you can imagine, your lifespan is not very long. In fact, it starts with you as the player picking your country of residence. It calculates or shows you the average lifespan of your country in years and puts that into seconds, which becomes how long you live as a fly.
That's cute.
I mean, thankfully you can pick whatever country you want, really. You don't have to be like truthful to where you actually live. That just seems like a fun little flavor addition. But of course, there is something, you have a disadvantage if you pick a country with a shorter lifespan, as you will have less time in the game to complete all your goals. So it is, I guess, kind of funny in that way, kind of weird. But again, you're not locked to it. You can choose whatever the hell you want to work with whatever time you want. And I stuck to Germany. Apparently our average lifespan is decent. So it worked out just fine for this video game. So it calculates the years into seconds. I think the average lifespan in Germany was like 80 and a half years or something. So I had 80 and a half seconds to fly around as a housefly and check off all the tasks on the bucket list, which are all 1-sentence things that are more or less clear. Some are like, there's a bit of a puzzle element in figuring out what some of them mean. And of course, it's all about exploration and finding the spots where you can do them. It's a very chill experience. Eventually, you find all the triggers for each task and do a run where you can complete all of them in one lifespan, and that puts you into the next level. It's just a really, really fun and I feel original gameplay loop until you clear them all. And I really love the like aesthetics and kind of the humor as well with some of the interactions that you can find. And of course, I am a bug fan, so every game that lets you control a bug, that lets you play through the life of a bug, is immediately a win for me. And so Time Flies actually fulfilled the hype that I had for it over the years. And I even went out to, I guess, 100% it by finding optional collectibles that were hidden throughout the levels as well. This was a short completion, like less than 3 hours, and I had a blast with this. If you're not playing Silk Song, this is your best bug-themed alternative that came out in 2025. It's an awesome game in my opinion.
Oh yeah, because I guess Grounded 2 isn't
Yeah, I mean, Grounded 2 is an early access. I guess you could argue for that as well, but I'm waiting for it to be complete before jumping into that one. My second game that I've played is a little itch.io release, a little indie game called Hatsune Miku Bomb Squad. I don't even
Let's go.
At some point after one of our recordings off mic, we were for some reason like blabbering on about Hatsune Miku. I don't even remember why. And this game came up as well.
I remember
Of
I
course.
remember how this came up at least. Is that
Yeah.
I discussed the Hatsune Miku pipe bomb meme.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think it was like a joke of like, because it's like curiosity killed the cat kind of thing. It was some joke about something that happened on the podcast, and that
Right.
led to Hatsune Miku Bomb Squad.
I guess that could be it, yeah. Well, this is a cool little game that is made for the Game Boy Color. You can download this as a ROM or play it in the browser. Which is a puzzle game where you help Hatsune Miku to defuse a couple bombs with in a visual puzzle way. As you get a grid of 3x3 symbols, and you just have to find out the right combinations with a couple clues and a couple basic rules. There's a bit of a, I guess, Sudoku element there where every symbol can only be appearing once and whatnot, that sort of thing. And you get a couple clues that are either visual or written out text, and you just have to find out the right combination to go to the next level. It's a really, really clever puzzle game that I enjoyed a lot. I cleared it in like 45 minutes, and it's like quality shit that I could see. It's this kind of puzzle mechanic that like Hatsune Miku outside and whatever. I could actually see on a Game Boy Color. It's the type of puzzle game that would not be like too surprising at the time, but at the same time, it's I think like a bit more polished than what you would expect from an actual Game Boy Color game. So this is like an actual like full on recommendation. This is a cool game. It's put out by a user on itch.io called Bird Up. Definitely recommend checking this one out if you like visual puzzle games. It's cool stuff.
Or if you like
And
Hatsune Miku.
or if you like Hatsune Miku, surely very important lore in this one. Yeah, and that's my two completions, like two little indie games that both were a lot of fun, and I can't really complain.
Yeah. I was actually meant to finish Hatsune Miku Bomb Squad alongside, but I got the date of the podcast wrong, everyone. And just so you
Shameful,
know,
shameful.
I held up recording for an hour because of it without realizing. I will say, while it's not a game I beat, I did just finish Wordle a moment ago. Got in 5.
Nice.
847 current streak.
Oh my gosh.
One of these days they're gonna pop up and gonna be like, the streak is over.
Dude, I can't wait.
Pour
Can't
one
wait
out
for
for
your
the cold one.
downfall.
But I have nothing of actually being, and Leah's also appears to be empty. So I think
Yeah.
that we might be the fastest we've been to retired pause in an episode yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I have sort of Assassin's Creed 3. I was playing this with my boyfriend, but we've both kind of gotten sucked into Magic the Gathering. So I don't think we're gonna be doing this for a while.
Fuck yeah.
So I put that on the I put that on my retired list for now. Yeah, I don't really have anything other than that to say really about it. Mostly he was the one who wanted to play it, but we haven't touched the PS5 in a while, so I don't think we'll be playing that one for a bit. My second retired was literally last night. I finally got into the Pokemon trading game. And the main thing with this is I have always been like an outsider when it comes to Pokemon. Like I tried getting into the games when I was younger and that didn't really work. I was really more into like Zelda at the time because like everybody was playing Pokemon and I was like, oh, but like when I finish Ocarina, then maybe like I'm not gonna buy another game. Like, you know, I was playing through Mario 64 and I was playing through Ocarina and like I didn't care about this Game Boy game everybody was talking about. So, you know, I finally got Pokemon Red, tried it, didn't really like it. I was like trudging through it. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to do this, whatever. Then the trading card game came out. Also, the anime, I tried watching the anime. I was like, this isn't really, I'm not waking up at 7 o'clock on Saturdays just to watch this. So, couldn't get through that. The card game, everybody started playing, but obviously, like, people knew that I didn't pay attention to Pokemon, but I think people knew that I was a nerd and I used to play video games. So I would like I would go to school, like my reading material during school sometimes I would bring like the player's guide or the official
Oh my
walkthrough
god.
guide to school for like Ocarina of Time, and I would just sit there and like look at the pictures because I couldn't play it until I got home.
You are a nerd. God damn.
Damn, brutal from the podcast. I think
So
we're
I
all
used to-
nerds.
Nah.
So yeah, but then like people used to like gift to me like Pokemon cards. And it was like around the time it was like 7th or 8th grade. So it was like around the time when it was sort of guys were starting to notice girls in a different way. So like they would give me things and I was like, clearly I know that this is supposed to be like, oh hey, this is some sort of something to you as a kid who's like getting into like relationships or whatever. But like since I wasn't playing the game, I was like, I have no idea if this card is worth anything or if this is like, is this a cool character? I have no idea. So I have a few cards that like I was given and I was like, I have to take care of these because I don't know if they're worth anything or if they're good to play or what. Like I didn't want to throw them away because I was like, I'm gonna find out like in a few years that was like a foil or something, and I was like, oh no, like
There's like all the like Pokemon trading card scalping that sent like 50 things out the roof.
yeah. So I'm sure. I know one of them was a Pikachu, and I think another one might have been like a Ditto or something. But I was like, again, I don't know anything about like rarity or whatever when it comes to this game. So, but I never actually got into the game because I kind of had like that embarrassment of being like, I have these cards, but I don't know what to do with them. So like, I never wanted to get around to like playing them. So since I've been going through like this whole trading card game thing, I finally downloaded the app yesterday to like see what the rules are and see how to play this or whatever, but it's not for me. I don't think there's any part of Pokemon that I will ever get into. I try all of them.
That's
I'll
fair.
give them, you know.
Hey, you give it the old college try.
And I liked Pokemon Snap when I had it, and I really want like the reboot or whatever that came out on the Switch.
Oh yeah.
New Pokemon Snap.
Yeah. And I liked Pokemon Stadium, but like as a storyline, just like getting through the stories, I can't. I've tried multiple times. My nephew has even like sat there with me and been like, "No, put this in your team, put this in your team," because he.
Oh god.
Like he can sit there and like tell you everything, and like you can just like pick a Pokemon. He's like, "No, actually, that debuted in this one or whatever." So, but yeah, that'll never be me. So played through the tutorial of the TCG Live last night. Once I finished that, I played another game and I lost, and I was like, "Well, okay, fun is over now," and I uninstalled it.
The Pokemon card game is like something I was always curious about as well. And of course, my school ground and whatever always had the Pokemon card trading going on as well. Every kid had those. But I legitimately have never met actually a person that played the card game. They all just collected the cards. And even my nephew now, who is obsessed with the cards and shows them to me frequently, has no idea how to play the game. And I would like,
So funny.
yeah, the older I get, the more curious I am, like how the card game actually works. Clearly, it's still around. There's still tournaments, even at my local game store and whatever. Like there has to be something good about
Even
it.
if it's power crept as all hell.
Right. At some point, I might actually look into it as well.
What you might be interested in, and what I would recommend, because it's the main vehicle I played it, is the Pokemon TCG game for the Game Boy Color.
I've heard this. Yeah.
I want to try that next as well.
Actually, pretty damn good.
I was put onto that last night, so
Hey, there you go. I've beaten
I
that,
might-
and
I
I've beaten
might-
the Japanese-only version that's been
Yeah.
translated into English. Both are
Right.
actually pretty damn fun, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about them.
I also had Pokemon cards in real life, which I never played with, but I did know how to play them. I just never really, because I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Of course. Yeah, you do seem like a Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Yeah, there's no denying. I definitely
I
seem like
don't know
more of
what
a
that
Yu-Gi-Oh
means,
guy.
but
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Yu-Gi-Oh has some pretty good video games too.
Yes, that is true. I've played a couple of them. Yeah. Good. Okay, yeah, I guess that's all that you retired. And I am looking forward. Yeah, I am looking forward to further card game exploration from you later on. But yeah,
Yeah.
for now, my retired and paused section, not too exciting. First of all, like the two games that I have cited many times in many episodes as the go-to co-op multiplayer games for me and a friend, which being, for one, Backgammon plus Checkers plus Mills, where we played the
The
board game
return of
Mills.
Mills yet again.
Yeah, not the return, the goodbye, more like, because that and the co-op like rogue like kind of game Murky Divers that we've been playing very very regularly over the past months. They both kind of like, I think they're out of the rotation now. We're kind of looking for something new at this point. I guess the Mills board game flame has been dying for me. It's still a cool board game, but I guess we all had our fill of Mill.
The fill of the mill.
Yeah. And Murky Divers, I think it's like a pretty sure thing that my friend and I are gonna return to Murky Divers, especially since there seems to be like a big Halloween DLC coming up soon. Now that we're in October. But yeah, we spent a lot of time in that game, and I think we just need something else for now. Which we kind of exchanged these two for playing Scrabble and chess in a browser, which is also
That sounds
exciting.
fun. Well, where's chess.com on this list?
I didn't put chess.com on our podcast notes because doesn't really feel like a game title to put on here. Neither does Scrabble in the browser. I don't fucking know.
Man, we should play Scrabble or chess though, because I like those games.
Yeah, I mean, I love Scrabble. Chess is fine. Yeah, maybe we can scrounge up some games sometime. But I'm still magic brained, so.
We can pop Letter League up on Discord during the podcast.
Yeah. So those are out for now. And the third one, Wakeboarding Unleashed, which I only mentioned recently as a fresh newcomer in my playing tab. I already said that I had doubts if I want to continue it, not because it's a bad game. It seems like a really, really cool one, but the emulation is a bit annoying, and I feel like it actually makes more sense for me to wait for another time, another year, maybe when emulation has become better or when I have the actual hardware to play it, the way it was intended, and not like ruin my experience or whatever. Well, it's playable, but it just has a bit of quirks that I've talked about last time. The thing also is, this is a bit of a bigger tension, I guess, for me. If I would have a New Year's resolution, since we are coming close to the end of this year, if I would have a New Year's resolution, I think next year I actually want to reduce harshly the games I emulate and actually just focus on the things I officially own for my platforms,
Try to chew into that a little bit just to get through that backlog.
Yeah. Because
That seems fair.
I guess it also kind of relates to the subject we had last time with the proliferation of information, etc., where
Yeah.
especially Roy, mentioned how there is no real cultural forgetting. We always have this enormous amount of old media that we have available and like kind of distracts us as well from whatever is going on currently. I have felt this sort of thing where I keep doing these deep dives into old weird games that I emulate or whatever, and like don't focus on what I actually buy on Steam and whatever. And I actually kind of want to turn it around for for a bit now.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to kind of switch it up, go through some of your like newer stuff. It's good not to just get stuck in the same kind of pattern.
Yeah, especially since emulation is awesome and all, and I am very willing to take some disadvantages with the opportunity to play older games. But like, as I have especially noticed this year with like things like Need for Speed Pro Street or whatever, where like it wasn't emulation, but it was tricky to get it running because it is old and has its problems. Like, I do this to myself where I make decisions to play games that come with these disadvantages when I could just play something that is perfectly fine on my current system and whatnot. So I make it a bit more of a hassle than I need to when I just could enjoy a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
And like,
sense to me.
oftentimes it's worth it, and oftentimes it's fun as a project itself. But yeah, I feel like for a bit I wanna like not do that. And so
Yeah,
Wakeboarding Unleashed is a bit falling to that as well. I'm not gonna play it right now. I'm gonna play it, if at all, at some point when it like fits better, or if I have
the
the capabilities.
wakeboarding has been unleashed.
Oh my fucking god, bro. Yes, the wakeboarding has been leashed.
I guess that podcast topic got your brain going a little bit. It sounds like to me.
It fit what I was already thinking about for a while. So yeah, it was another puzzle piece in that. Yeah, that is my retired and paused, and I guess that is already moving us along to the next section.
Pretty much, which is plain, which I actually do have something to talk about. And since I had
Yeah.
nothing for the previous two sections, I think it's time for me to lead off a section.
Yes, sir.
First off, the standard tabletop simulator stuff. I already mentioned it. I'm still doing Wordle. Most of my gaming time that I have been gaming is fitting in with our discussion topic, and it's Madden NFL 10 and NCAA Football 10
Hell yeah.
because those two games are connected. I'm kind of going to talk about them at the same time. I have still not actually started a game of football on Madden Football 10, just so you know.
Fucking hell.
Because I realized while I was creating my teams that, back then there was the draft class import feature where you could play the college football game of that season and you could import the players, which are, of course, based on real players, and you could actually change how good they are by playing, into the Madden NFL 10 game for each draft class. So I'm like, I should play a season of NCAA Football 10 to transfer it to my Madden NFL 10 before the season starts, so I don't end my football season and then I have to go play NCAA football. So I've not finished making all my teams in Madden Football 10 yet. But I'm on
Jesus.
NCAA Football 10. I've never quite liked the NCAA football games as much as the Madden games, but they are still good. Now, one thing I'll say about this is I don't know why this game is way fucking harder. Mostly because for some reason players cannot hold on to the goddamn ball when you throw it to them. There are so many drops. The offense is so difficult. It's like dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I have not been this tilted by a video game in maybe years as I
Oh
was
my
playing
God.
NCAA Football 10, getting 7 turnovers on defense and still losing the game because I had 11 drops on my team in one game. And
Slippery
2
pigskin.
or 3 times where I get the ball down the field, it's a holding penalty. Nothing went right. One of the most frustrating games of virtual football I've ever had.
That's.
But
you still decide to keep
Doesn't
playing.
sound like you'll get to the Super Bowl with that.
you
Oh, God.
have no idea, dude. For some reason, I couldn't sleep that night. I was doing it at 5 a.m. And because that game tilted me so hard, I ended up playing for 5 more hours. Because I
Oh
couldn't,
no! Oh my God.
couldn't fall asleep afterwards. Fortunately, I got my shit fixed up the next night. But
Man, that's
just
proper jock behavior right there.
oh yeah, such shock. But I will say, outside of that, the game is actually pretty solid. The recruiting is not as fanciful or in-depth as more of the modern games, or even like NCAA Football 11, which I actually believe if I recall, I own in real life. No, I own NCAA Football 12 in real life. It's pretty good. I do think immediately that I don't know, there's the new college football game, the CFB 25 and CFB 26. And unlike the modern Maddens, which just suck, CFB 25 actually seems really good, and I kind of wish I was able to play it. Because after playing through this and seeing the new one, I'm like, damn, the new one actually seems quite good for once in its life. So, I am enjoying this, but I haven't touched it after that night, because I got tilted so hard.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I will get back to this. I want to at least complete 4 seasons worth over the long haul, because I want to be able to import 4 draft classes at least. Because that's freshman, sophomore, junior, senior for college, which means it'll be the real life cycle of players. And I am skipping over some games like usual, because I don't need to play every FCS team that you beat 52-10 or whatever. But man, I got to figure out what I'm not doing correct in this game. Because there's something there's definitely, even aside from the drops, I can tell there's something I'm doing wrong on some of these plays where it's just not working. I think I might be using precision passing by accident and causing my throws to be errant on some of these passes and stuff. Because it's just not something, even when I've played the previous games, that it makes any sense to be happening on a repeatable basis.
Dude, here's a pro tip for you. Just don't drop the ball, man. Just keep that in mind.
Here's a pro tip.
Just
be good at the game.
As Al Davis said, just win, baby.
Yeah. Are we gonna is Matt, so if you're playing NCAA football 10 now, is Madden NFL even relevant anymore?
Yes.
Okay, I can't keep up with these.
So when I beat NCAA football 10, I'm going to be able to save a draft class of the players that would be coming to the NFL that year. And then when I finish my season of Madden NFL 10, I bring those players into that draft. So I'm going to be able to bring the players from NCAA football 10 to Madden NFL 10.
That's kind of cool.
It is really cool.
What? Okay.
How you do in NCAA football 10 will affect the player's rating.
Yeah. My only connection to this, I haven't played this, but my only connection to this is Mass Effect.
Huh?
I mean, football games are kind of RPGs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro.
Mass Effect, there's choices that you can do in Mass Effect that will affect the other games. So people load their save from Mass Effect 1, so that way so it's basically this. You play the 4 seasons as this team in college, and then you move them over to the big leagues, and then you get to play them.
And you get 4 seasons worth of saves. It's like Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, and if there was a Mass Effect 4, I suppose.
Okay, I guess where I'm confused is, are these 2 games in the same series, franchise, brand, whatever? Or why is there...
So they're developed by the same people, which is EA Sports. But they're both football, but they're separate series. But that's why they're connected. They're developed by the same group.
Now I understand. Okay.
EA Sports, it's in the game. Ignoring that has not been in the game for about a decade.
What's in the game, though?
It was in the game.
Football, apparently.
Football is in the game.
A pigskin.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
But not voice skill.
Damn.
Oh my god. Alright.
True, though.
This is like playing Pokemon, where you have to play 2 football games to trade creatures.
Yeah, there you go. We're translating it into our language.
You can just you don't have to play the college game. You can just get a generated class. You don't have to play the college game. It's optional.
Wild shot. I'm learning.
Yeah.
The marvelous world of sports games.
Yeah, I've never played sports games a full season or whatever. I just play the exhibition match. The way that they started making the career mode more exciting, where you have to do a lot more things outside of the actual games, is making me more interested in it. I'm still not going to be buying any of them, but I'm like, oh, you're making it more enticing to people who aren't sports people. So
I mean, CFB 25/26 do have an interesting career mode like that, I would say. The older superstar modes in the Maddens are interesting in that regard, but probably not as in depth as like the CFB 25. The modern Maddens are just bad.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talk about Madden in years, so I can
Yeah.
imagine that they've dropped off
Dude.
really fast.
Oh, you have no idea. I could probably fill literally an entire podcast episode.
Yeah, maybe that's there's more stuff there
Roy's
for the
Madden
discussion topic later.
Yeah.
The
Roy's
Madden
Madden
podcast.
Speaking of things connected to mine, there's someone else who finished Wordle today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both of us. All of
Yeah.
us. So
Oh,
who are you
right. I didn't even
segueing
see the
to?
second one. I literally only saw Matt's. I didn't see Leah's because we had so many more games than everybody else here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Whoever
yeah.
wants to go next then.
I guess I'll do my Wordle shit then for now, since you pointed it out. Yes, I did play Wordle. I think both Leah and I played Wordle because we had some time as you were getting your peanut butter sandwich going. And again, just like last time, I had no idea about the word. I did not know this word. And I got it in 5, just like you, I guess. So
Ooh, we
there's
tied
that.
up.
The word is like literally the first name of my grandpa. So I didn't. It's Fritz. That's my grandpa's name. I don't fucking like. How is this?
That's kind
Whatever.
of cool. Like your brain is on the fritz when it's not working.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went like an etymology deep dive earlier, Leah and I. It's
Oh, okay.
a wild thing. We had some
I
time.
wasn't here.
Yeah.
What happens when somebody sweeps in like 40 minutes, not realizing today's
Yeah.
the podcast?
Yeah. But that is Wordle. Your evil scheme to make me play Wordle has worked once again. Aside
Truly
from
my
that,
evilest of schemes.
yeah, it's vile. Games that I actually played out of my own volition. Last time we recorded was in that week here in Germany. We had town hall elections, local government elections, like in that week we recorded last time. And at the same time, Steam had a political sim fest and whatever. And I always was kind of curious about political sim games, despite never actually having played one. So all of that shit kind of led me to actually looking at my backlog and pulling one out that I've bought a while ago. And this one is called Vox Populi Germany 2025. It's an election simulator that is not just a generic simulator, but actually closely simulating, whatever you want to call it, the German parliamentary elections that happened last year. And so you kind of get to play through that with actual like proxies of real parties. You choose whatever party you want to play, and then you go through the whole year leading up to that real life election and try to win the most votes in that. The game also includes other campaign modes like speculative fiction stuff or like even some funny science fiction things with alien parties or whatever. But that is like the main draw of the game, the main campaign, the main feature of the game. And so I thought that this might be interesting for one to see like how is a political sim, how could they work, how could they gamify all these to me probably way too complicated political systems and whatever. Maybe I could even learn something about how the fuck specifically the German political system works or whatever. Although, of course, this isn't gonna be like a one-to-one recreation of all of that, since that would be way too complex to emulate. It is all very much simplified in some ways. Still, just interesting. And also, I don't know, it's kind of funny. You don't really see much games that like recreate German history aside from, I guess, the obvious one.
Well,
But just like a regular ass election or whatever of recent years as well. It's kind of like a unique thing to play as a video game. It was kind of telling though. This was already like kind of sad. Uh, my first attempt at playing this, I chose the party that I would actually vote for. I did actually vote for in real life, and the game named it already like harder difficulty.
Oh
And I
no.
was like, oh shit, this kind of ironic and sad, but okay. Of course, additionally to that, all the systems in the game are, at least on first glance, to me, so complex, and there's so many variants that you can or should like look out for. How you spread your politicians to do different tasks and whatever. It was like I had no fucking clue what I was doing, despite a brief tutorial, which didn't like really help me that much. That like the first session that went for like a bit over an hour or whatever, I like barely knew what the fuck I was doing, and that I was not getting anywhere in my campaign. So a couple days later, I tried again with a fresh mind, and I think like I kind of got the grips on it a bit more and like figured out at least some of the core concepts in a way that I could engage with them like effectively. There's still stuff that I have to figure out, but it's like kind of cool the way that you build your party with multiple politicians, which are, at least in the campaign, the main campaign, like legitimately representing real people here in Germany, but with like slightly changed names for, you know, rights reasons or whatever. But it's kind of funny to actually see those real politicians do their shit, and you build your party, you recruit new politicians and whatever to do different things to spread your popularity throughout the country. You research different subjects, and you know, at an attempt to screw or move popular topics among the population towards your specialties and whatever, to make those votes mean more and whatnot, with a million different underlying, you know, systems to make that work, whatever. Don't ask me about any specifics. And I think my favorite thing is actually that you have politician debate shows that you have on TV. You in the USA, you have those as well.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? And in the game, those work as like a card game where you do actually build a deck of different cards and whatever, and then have like a little turn-based card game thing. It's very simple, but it's
That's
still
cool.
cool. And you can also, like, depending on what kind of politicians you recruit to your party and what kind of political sides, political strains you follow and focus on, you get different cards and shit. It's cool. Like, you can lie to the people. There are cards where you just like lie or make up fake facts or whatever that have advantages and disadvantages you could use. You could also play as like a truthful politicians and have different cards with different effects and whatever. It's pretty dang cool. I'm a stupid man, right? I'm a stupid ape. I'm a fucking monkey. And I don't think I will ever fully understand this game. I'm probably gonna attempt to finish one single campaign, which is like 365 days in the game, which seems to be taking a lot of actual game time as well. It's not a short thing. And when I got that done, I don't know if I'm actually gonna do more campaigns or any of the others. I think I'm probably gonna have my fill if I finish that. And the question is still, even if I win that, as you know, getting the most votes at the end. I did eventually pick an easy mode party, which is
Oh,
the
no.
party that actually won in real life. But not a great party in my book. But for the sake of the game, it works. Just to actually succeed in this and learn the mechanics, it works. And the game itself seems pretty cool if you can deal with this sort of stuff. So that's Vox Populi, Germany 2025. The funny thing is that these Vox Populi games, there are like 10 different games for all sorts of different countries. including USA. And from my understanding, they do also have different mechanics based on the country's respective actual, election systems and whatever, which seems a cool thing. It's neat stuff.
There's a free demo, so I just downloaded that.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe you can make more sense out of this stuff than I do.
Doubt it.
Okay. This political sim is making me excited to go voting again tomorrow because the last vote ended in a tie and we need a tiebreaker, and it's all very sad, but here we are. More fun things ahead. I'm still playing Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm still 100% magic brained. That is keeping me sane right now, if you can call that sane. That is keeping me happy right now. And
happy but not sane. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
That tracks.
I have done the more of the usual, more ranked games on Arena in the standard format, and a couple more drafts, which I love to do. But actually, it's kind of funny. This whole Magic the Gathering rabbit hole, I have probably spent more time playing paper Magic with actual real people at events at the local game store than I have played Arena since the last episode, which is kind of cool. I've tried more. Last time I talked about the modern format I visited at the local game store, which is the format for all the high-level pros to play their $600 decks where you have no chance whatsoever. So that was not a great time. Since then, I've tried other formats, including the pre-release event for the Spider-Man set that has now finally released. Last time I was talking about how I was hoping to pull the City Pigeon card that is in that card set. And at the pre-release, you get 6 boosters to build your deck with on the spot. Guess what? None of those included a City Pigeon. I was very sad. I went there with my pigeon t-shirt. I told everybody I'm looking for the City Pigeon card, and I didn't pull one. It was very sad.
Oh, no.
But a guy that I was sitting next to me did pull the City Pigeon card, and I was able to trade with him. So I was at least able to go home with that card, although I was not able to use it in the deck at the tournament. But, better than nothing. What was nice, though, I did get to see the City Pigeon in action in other people's decks, and it was actually dope to see, like, my opponent at some point, the City Pigeon card actually saved his life, saved him from losing, and I was like,
Nice.
hell yeah, bro, that's the City Pigeon, man. Best card in the
Pigeon
deck.
power.
I was hyping up that card so much to everybody. It was really fun, honestly. And it is actually dope because I did see a bunch of videos by Magic the Gathering content creators that do their like usual here are the best cards in the upcoming deck. You should look for these to build your deck and whatever. And the City Pigeon does actually have a spot in, the meta in that card set.
I mean, it is a good card.
It is actually useful in specific decks, and that just fills my heart with joy. It is nice.
In fact, real quick, I looked up City Pigeon to see its price. Why you should be picking City Pigeon highly in MTG.
Let's fucking go, man. So that was fun. I ranked 8th out of 20 people as well. So that's not actually terrible.
Oh, that's
I was
pretty
kind
solid, yeah. That's
I was
above
kind of
average.
happy. I won more boosters through that, and still no City Pigeon in any of them. It was fucking
bad.
Yeah, still pretty fun. I was surprised 20 people showed up because everybody I talked to beforehand about this card set said, like, this Spider-Man card set is the stupidest shit ever and everybody hates it. But still, like, the pre-release event, like, people filled the room. So that was nice.
Did you see how MTG topped it for, like, how much people think something is dumb and dislike it with their recent stuff?
No, I didn't. No.
There's Dwight from The Office.
Oh, yeah, there was a big fucking collector's card drop. Yeah, and there's some Office cards too. And Furby cards were revealed, I think, just yesterday and whatever. It's There's wild shit coming up, man. There's wild shit. And a Star
It
Trek
is
set,
too.
though. Next year, we're getting a full-on Star Trek set, and I'm actually
Let's
fine
fucking
with that.
go.
Yeah, I'm
I
actually
mean,
good with that.
huge Trekkie here. I do think it's kind of odd in Magic the Gathering,
Well,
but
yeah.
it makes more sense than honestly Spider-Man even, because they did just have like the multiverse space exploring expansion, like what
Yeah.
was it, 2 years ago? A year ago? I don't remember.
True. Edge of
So like
Eternities, yeah.
it thematically fits with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't actually care about all these branded franchise card sets, but if we're gonna have them, I don't mind having it be Star Trek. That is a fine one.
What if it has Space Pigeon?
Yeah, I don't know if Star Trek has any pigeons. And we are also getting in January. I'm so excited for January because we're getting Low and Eclipsed, the return to the last set I witnessed when I
Yeah.
was a teenager.
Oh,
So that's gonna
nice.
be exciting. Yeah, I'm
And it
gonna be at
actually
every
looks like
event, man.
it looks sick, honestly, with what they showed.
Yeah, the first cards were released, revealed recently. It's dope shit. Uh, and there's another format that I'm apparently now visiting regularly. I mentioned it in the last episode already. The Pauper format, where you are only allowed to build decks with common cards, the rarity common cards. A new fresh group established, and I'm apparently partner of that now. We have granted, we've been sanctioned now by the local game store to do this shit regularly, and even, as an official thing where we actually get to win promo cards and whatever, like you do in a regular event, which is fun. So now I'm actually showing up probably weekly to this Pauper group to play my stupid banding deck, the ancient mechanic that nobody likes. I think I mentioned that last time as well.
You did. And I'm wondering, are you going to go with bands with others?
No, actually, I don't think there's any common card that has bands with others. Surprisingly.
Fair.
Yeah. But
I mean,
banding.
probably not a
It's.
good idea to use bands with others anyway.
Yeah. Banding is a meme at this point. And it's so cool when I showed up with my banding deck. Of course, I didn't. I think I won one match at some point, but of course, overall, I'm losing everything against these actual pro players that know what they're doing. But it's so funny to put a creature with banding on the table, and if the other person actually knows what it is, their reaction is so good because they're either one guy was like, bro, what the fuck, you bringing banding to this? Like, what? And another guy was like, yeah, banding, fuck yeah, because it brings.
Let's band together, guys. Hell yeah.
There's one guy there that actually knew the rules to this unnecessarily complicated mechanic, who was excited that I was trying to build a deck with it. And it was like so fun to just nerd out with him a bit about other ancient mechanics that are discontinued and whatever. I'm actually having social interactions, which is crazy.
Wild.
That's an
People?
episode title right there.
But yeah, that's what Magic has been doing to me. Like, I've actually been going outside and stuff, and it seems like that's gonna become more and more now. The modern format that I last time said, where I just got destroyed because all the pro players, I'm even planning to go there again with a deck that I have been creating, and I'm waiting right now for all the cards to arrive, where I have a cool combo where I can flood the battlefield with infinite pigeons. And I'm excited to use that at the tournament. Even if I don't win, I just want to annoy the pro players with it. Like
You just want as many pigeons as possible. That's all you need.
I give up on like pursuing success. I just want to be weird now, and that's like the most fun at these events for me.
What's funny is that if you have any kind of card that lets you turn pigeons into damage or life, you just have a one-turn kill then.
Dude, I'm gonna nerd out a bit. There's a card called Dovescape that
I know Dovescape.
it's so fucking good. No player can cast any spells and instead those spells get turned into pigeons. It's
Yes.
so fucking good. So my enemy can't even do shit once I play this card, and I just want them to be annoyed by that. And further above that, if I can play the actual second combo card, I have an infinite loop that creates an infinite pigeon army for myself to just overrun them with. So this is gonna be exciting once those cards arrive. I'm so excited to play that.
You get that dove out fast enough, you might actually even win some games, I'd say. It's not a bad disruption card.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's actually possible I might get a couple W's, which would be amazing. And to go above and beyond with this shit, since this deck is using all of these token creatures, which these token creatures don't have dedicated cards, they get created out of thin air, and you're allowed to represent them on the table with whatever you want, as long as the other player understands it. Classically, it's like dice or whatever, or like pre-made token cards. But it doesn't matter what you use to represent them on a table. And so I went and photoshopped token card things with pictures that I took of my neighborhood pigeons and
Okay,
made them
that's
all
sick.
fancy and shit. And I ordered them at a print shop, and I'm waiting for them to arrive. And I cannot wait to put those fucking things on the table and just they're gonna think I'm crazy, but it's so fucking dope that I can do that.
Honestly, I love that. That's sick.
And
Pigeon overload.
yeah, and I have asked the local pigeon welfare organization if I can use their logo for custom card sleeves to to have some advertising for them.
Have they responded?
I got positive feedback. The person I talked to loved the idea, but they said they had to ask the higher ups, and I haven't gotten a
Right.
response yet from that. But if that
At this point, all you need to do is bring an actual live pigeon.
yeah,
Two on each shoulder.
just put those on the table.
I'm the pigeon lord.
Here's my token creature. Here's my pigeon. God, I cannot wait to just like weird them out and just be the crazy person at that pro tournament. Oh my god.
I wonder if
But yeah,
any of them
that's-
are going to end up watching the podcast and figuring it out.
But okay, yeah, that's all my Magic the Gathering rambling. Sorry about that. That's all my playing games.
You don't have to
Yeah.
be sorry. That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you thought so. Okay, yeah.
Continuing adventures.
Arena in the digital space still walking, but yeah, paper Magic is surprisingly higher priority right now, which is I never expected that to happen. So that's it for me. Leah, what have you been playing?
So I thought I would have finished Max Payne 1, 2, and 3 at this point in time, but I'm still trudging through the first one. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said last time, there was a few Remedy games that I bought and just almost immediately retired. So I'm glad that this one so far hasn't been as frustrating. The only thing I would say is that like I kind of get in my head with certain games where I look at the time on how long to beat and I'm like, oh, it's only gonna take 8 hours. I can do that in a day. That's fine. Just, take a break in the middle or whatever. And then like 4 hours later, I'm like still sort of in the beginning. And I'm like, why is this taking me forever? It said it would take 8 hours. So, then I start getting mad at myself for being like more sluggish than
God.
it would. So, that happens a lot with a lot shorter games. Like, I think that's part of the reason why I retired the Pathless, because I was like, why am I not anywhere near where it should be? So, but, once I get that, if I'm enjoying the game and I get that out of my head and I'm like, no, I'm enjoying the game. Who cares how long it takes me? Like, even if it's, 4 hours more, I get through it. And that's really the goal here. So yeah. So as long as it takes, I am going to get through these games very slowly, I guess, because other things have taken precedence in my time during the day. But yeah, I will. My goal, I guess, now is to finish them by the end of the year. So we'll see if that happens.
Well, that's a pretty good amount of time to do it, I think. So I think
I don't think it's going to take me quite that long to finish the first one. So I just have to focus, I guess, on that. Also playing Red Dead Online again. There's not much to prepare for a spooky season, but like we get new Halloween maps every year. So for like the call to action and a lot of the group stuff. So like a lot of the people that I play this with don't really play the game until Halloween starts, because then we get fresh maps for that and for Christmas. So I was like, let me go in, make sure like all my outfits for the winter seasons are set up. Basically, that's all I do for setting up, where I'm like to put all the summer outfits back, put all the winter outfits on, because everything's gonna be caked in snow and it's gonna be freezing. And I don't need my character, losing health quickly because I haven't fed her and she's wearing a dress in the middle of winter. So I was like, let me go through and see what outfits I have, because a lot of times I just go in, they give you like a free outfit every once in a while, like some YouTuber or whatever puts together an outfit and they're like, oh, we'll put these items free so you can make that outfit together. So I would just go into the game, do that, do my dailies, and then log out. So I was like, all my outfits are just random things that I just randomly bought at the wardrobe at the tailor. So I was like, all right, let me go through and like clear out my outfits and see, what's there. Played some more of the new missions. But again, I haven't played in so long, it's kind of hard for me to get back into the controls, even though like they're basically the same controls as GTA, and I have been playing a lot of GTA. Yeah, just trying to remember what buttons do what sometimes, and then I'm like, oh, now I'm dead because I forgot that the gun is on the other side.
The gun is on the other. What the hell?
It's confusing because I'm playing on PC versus PlayStation, so like the buttons are switched. So like a lot of times I'll go to like get faster on the horse and I like get off the horse by accident. I'm like, no, I forgot the buttons are swapped now. So that ends up killing me a lot of the times. I'm like, okay, I need to remember all the buttons are mapped. So that's that for now. Nier, I'm also going through, but this is another game that's I know is going to take me a lot longer because it's a little bit more on the Souls-like side of things versus like an RPG where I can just hack and slash until I defeat persons. Like I have to have strategy and think about things instead of just going in blindly. So it's a little bit more frustrating to play for me because it's not really like my kind of play style. But yeah, I do think that it is a game. First of all, it's beautiful, and even when it's frustrating and if I have to like run back through something, I'm always like just staring at the background and the design of the level. I will do more tries at this, but I don't think that I'm right at the point of retiring yet. Or retiring it for sure, because I've retired it a few times already and then been like, no, I'm going to give it one more try.
Classic retire, unretire strategy.
Yeah.
But am I done?
So then it just sits there paused forever until one day go through it and I'm like, wow, so many things are here that I should like maybe clear out. My next on the list is Hairdresser Simulator.
The hypest game.
Everyone's favorite hairdressing simulator game.
What the hell?
It's by the developers or the publishers of the House Flipper and Power Washer. Like Steam recommended it to me because I had finished not the career mode of Power Washer, but I knew I played that and I knew I played House Flipper and I guess Electrician Simulator also, which is more of the thing. But the thing is that like I personally have been cutting my own hair and like dyeing my own hair and styling my own hair since like before COVID. So this game isn't really doing anything new for me. Like at least with House Flipper, it's like, oh, I didn't know how to install a toilet. I didn't know how to do a shower fixture. Like Car Mechanic Simulator was great because it was like, oh, you have to replace this thing. And then like you get under the car and you're like, fuck, that's way in there. Like I have to undo all these things just to get there. I'm like, that's why when I take my car to the shop, it costs so much because all this stuff you have to get out of the way and put it back in. So like Electrician Simulator, I learned a lot of stuff too. But like this is like, I'm just cutting and dyeing hair. Like unless it gets like immensely hard later on where like, I was expecting it to be like a little bit more intricate when it comes to things like, in real life, if you put bleach on the hair and you leave it for too long, the hair will fall off. Yeah. So I was expecting it to be like, oh, here's a timer or whatever, but it's just like, put the bleach on, wash the bleach off, comb the hair, dry the hair. You're done. And they walk out the door. Where's how are you not explaining the intricacies of hairdressing? So it's not as exciting as I was hoping for, but I think if it was that way, it would have been a lot more interesting because then people could just go in and like, in House Flipper, you can just do your own little redecorating and see how like things look. And it would be cool if there was a game like that for hairdressing where you can be like, here's my doll that like if I fuck it up, it's not my hair that I now have to walk around in public with. So it'd be nice to have like a simulator that lets you mess around with cutting your hair and doing different dye jobs and stuff. But I don't think anybody has finished this on how long to beat, so I'm kind of interested in finishing it just so I can give that data to the site. But we'll see exactly how long that lasts.
Follow the Call of Duty of how long to beat.
Yeah. Now we've gotten to what has taken up my time for the last.
Oh boy, I wonder what it is.
Can't imagine.
The backstory here is that also when I was a kid, I used to be. This also came back around like sort of during COVID too. But when I was younger, I used to be really into a lot more like new age stuff. Like I used to read like books on lucid dreaming and like afterlife stuff and astrology and like all this like new age Wicca stuff or whatever.
Hell yeah.
So most of the stuff that I used to read from the bookstore was kind of like new agey stuff. And then I started getting into like teen magazines. But even like my teen magazines still had like some like heft to them. Like I would read Teen People and Cosmo Girl, which were like the only two that I can tell that actually had like actual articles about things. So like it was like, oh, it wasn't just being like, how are you gonna do your hair for the prom or whatever. Like it was like real stuff. Like people, like I remember there was like they had an article about some of the Columbine kids and stuff like that, and like real like deep stuff where you're just like, wow, okay, this is like hard hitting,
journalism. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Real life stuff that you probably should think about a little bit more or whatever.
I'm excited for the segue here. I'm not entirely sure how this connects.
So basically what happened is in one of the Teen People things, there was an ad for this thing called Portal, Magic the Gathering.
Oh my god, it's so long ago.
And so the thing is that because I was into all this like witchcraft and stuff, I was like, oh, maybe this is like how you get into tarot. I don't know, because I was like, I don't know what magic is, whatever.
I love
You
that.
gather magic. It seems legit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna get this kit, and we're gonna see like what this game is about, and then I'll figure out like if I can use the cards for other things. Because I knew that they sold the cards separately, and I was like, I don't know what any of this is. Anyway, my dad and I tried to get through a game, but it was like so many rules to it that we spent half the game being like, wait, what does it say in the rules about that? What does it say in the rules about when do we move this thing? I don't understand. So we did like half a game, I think. Or then we were just like, fuck it, I think you win, whatever. And we put it back, put it in the closet. I have not seen that since. And I had no idea over time that this was connected to Magic. But when Matt was streaming Magic the Gathering, that brought all of that back. And I was like, oh, this is that game that like I knew of.
Holy shit.
And you had never heard of Portal. And I was like, oh man, I was like, if he doesn't know what Portal is, like, and I had to look it up, and apparently it was like their very first starter pack. And like, that's how they got people into Magic. I didn't know how to play Magic at the time. So like now, apparently there were like 3 Portal decks or sets that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And they have since been reprinted as like other cards or whatever. And so yeah, so then you started playing that, and I saw that it was, I don't have anybody to play with in real life. So I was like, oh, if there's a digital version of this, maybe I should try it out and see if I can figure it out. But of course, once I downloaded Arena on my computer, it worked halfway through I downloaded it on my phone first. And halfway through the tutorial, it froze. So I had to restart it, do the tutorial again. through the second game, also froze. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try it on Steam and we'll see if that works. Tried it on Steam. That worked for a little while. And then when I booted it up the next day, it didn't want to load and it would just stay on the screen, just like waiting for server. And for 4 hours, I watched this screen while I watched a movie waiting. So like my time on Steam is like completely off just because it was just like, you're playing it. And I'm like, I'm not really, I'm staring at the screen. So I gave up on that and I was like, let me try it back on my phone again. So I tried it on my phone, accidentally created another account. So then I had to go ask them to like delete that other account so I can finish the tutorial on my phone. Still didn't work on my phone. Logged in on the computer the next day, was able to complete the tutorial. Now it works fine on my phone, and now it works fine on Steam. So I was finally able to go through and like get through the AI stuff and everything, open some decks, figure out what I'm doing. So finally, after all this time, I finally understand the world of Magic.
Hell yeah.
Finally, the magic is gathered.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So, but yeah,
It
so
is
my boyfriend also apparently used to play Magic back in the day, but he also downloaded it on his phone and he's been playing. But earlier today he just uninstalled it because he had like
Aw.
some run where like some guy just threw down a card where he just kept losing completely, and he was just like, I can't deal with this. So he's out, I guess, for now. I'm trying to get him to see if maybe we can buy a commander deck and see if we can play in-person Magic. And if not, then I'm sticking to digital because at least I know I can play that.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying that. And making decks apparently is my new nighttime.
Yes.
Man, I definitely gotta get on this already so I can play with you guys.
Yes, man.
I really gotta
Let's
do
go.
that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
the deck building as well. Like I could spend hours and hours on that, even if I never played the deck. Just putting it together is so much fun. Fuck.
Yeah.
I love that you got onto Magic through like Wicca and Tarot stuff, like that fought. That's so fucking cool. I love it so much.
I was like, oh, it has cards. I wonder if this is related to that. Like, oh,
Oh, so good.
this
so
is the beginning way of getting into cards, not those cards.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
Also witnessing Portal as it happened is like, oh my god, it's so I was 4 years old at the time. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I was
So I
conscious.
don't know if I still have that Portal deck. It's got to be at my parents' house, at their apartment.
Dude.
So I gotta call my dad later and be like, can you look in the closet for me and see if that's there? Because I might have donated it when I moved at some point.
No.
But because I was like, when am I ever gonna use this? But I know it's not in our game sets downstairs. So I'm like, okay, well, I gotta find out if this is still a thing. With the
Gotta keep me
Pokemon
updated on
cards,
that.
probably would have been like, no, I have to keep this because I don't know if these cards are gonna mean anything someday.
What if they're worth 50 million?
Yeah, it could have gone either way because I haven't played it, so they're in good condition otherwise. So like, so anyway, on to the next card game that is digital version of a real life card game is Disney Lorcana, which this is another thing that I do that whenever my boyfriend and I get into something that he has more knowledge in, I always look for like another thing that I can like learn the mechanics on my own where he doesn't have the knowledge, so I can be like, okay, I can figure this out on my own and then bring that into the other game. The thing here for the card games is Disney's Lorcana, which is their trading card game. I think it's like about 2 years old or whatever. It's not that old.
Yeah,
but
pretty young.
I do know that IGN every once in a while does like some articles on like trading card things. And that was the only reason I zoomed in on it because one of the early cards was Winnie the Pooh as a honey wizard. And I was like, this rules. I love Winnie the Pooh. And they never put him so far in Dreamlight Valley, which was the two things that I wanted in Dreamlight Valley was to get Wally and Winnie the Pooh. And we got Wally, and I downloaded for Wally, and we never got Winnie the Pooh. And they also have Merlin, which nobody ever knows what Sword in the Stone is, and I love Sword in the Stone. So the fact that Merlin was like the first character you talk to in Dreamlight Valley, I was like, done. I love this. But now I've given up on that. But now I have Winnie the Pooh as a honey wizard in this game. And so, yeah, so I went looking for a way to play this digitally because I was like, if I'm going to have like my own card game to play on my own, I need to have like an AI component somehow. And with like Magic the Gathering, I have that in Arena, but it's hard to do it with Disney Lorcana because there was a client that somebody else had made a few years ago apparently, and Disney took it down for a copyright or whatever. So there's other ways of playing this online currently. So yeah, I've been playing that, and there's sites to build decks with, and I've been looking through those, and like I still have not won a game, but I'm enjoying it to the point of being like, oh, I had I had this other card, I would have been able to do something right then in that game. So now I'll go through my deck and like clean it out and fix something. And we're like, okay, let's try it again with this deck now. So yeah. So on that same site where I figured out how to play Disney on Disney Lorcana online, they also have a version of it for One Piece, the game, which my best friend is into One Piece, and she made me watch the Netflix series, and then I also watched the anime. And people have told me I should read the manga, but I was like, I have so many other books that I'm reading also, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
There's only so much time in this world.
Yeah, but then so I tried the One Piece one, but like I watched the how-to video, and I was like, I don't fully understand what you guys are talking about. This doesn't make any sense. The terminology is so weird. So I opened it on my little AI app, and I beat like my first 2 games. So I was like, all right, clearly something's clicking here. So every once in a while I open that again, and I'm slowly starting to get it. It's still not something that I would play in real life, but I do believe that there's also mods for Tabletop Simulator where you can play it. So that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Seems like there's been a lot more Tabletop Simulator recently, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Also on that site, they have the Star Wars Unlimited, Star Wars Universe, something like that.
Unlimited, yeah.
The actual. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
So Matt, you told me about this one because I didn't even know that this existed. But as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, that's what that other thing is on this website. So I was like, let me go play that one. And that is not a game that I would really play myself. But I don't know. At this point, it's like every once in a while when I'm tired of playing any other card game that I've been playing, I'll open it and like try and figure out the mechanics again. So I understand how it works, but I can't seem to get anywhere close to a win state. So we'll see if that one continues. But again, that's another one that I don't like. Recently I've seen the booster packs or whatever in the store, and I'm like, I have no interest in. I love Star Wars, but I was like, I have no interest in owning these as cards, so I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't even play it with anybody, then why the fuck even own them? Yeah.
But I was like, even from a collector's standpoint, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be like, oh, but I was like, I don't really like. Give me C-3PO, give me Leia, and give me Finn if he exists, and then that's it. I'll figure it out from there. Oh, and so yeah, so Tabletop Simulator, I finally bought that. Just because I heard that there's a Lorcana mod for it. So I downloaded that. And I was like, listen, if anybody wants to play these games with me, I'll be able to just like load in anything or whatever. So just to have that on the side. If anybody wants to play multiplayer fake card games with me, we can do that. But
it's good to have around for sure.
Yeah. But then what happened was I opened it, loaded the Lorcana thing, and was like, okay, everything looks good, everything's scripted, seems right. And then I was like, let me see what it actually comes with. And it comes with Solitaire. I love Solitaire as a game that I can play by myself. So I played that for like 40 minutes on Tabletop Simulator.
Nice.
So yeah, so I was like, okay, this clear, just to even get like the mechanics of like flipping the cards around and everything. And I was like, oh, this is okay. I'm learning Tabletop Simulator with this game that I can just play downstairs with my own cards. The next one that I didn't actually write down here, but I also downloaded Marvel Snap, which is sort of different because what it is they give you 3 locations, and each locations have like certain things where it's like this location will change in the next 2 turns, or this location gives everybody like +1 to your power or whatever, and everybody has like put out the cards for a certain amount of energy that you get per turn, and everybody has like a power card, and as long as your power is more than the other person playing with you, you win that location. And there's 3 locations, and you have to get 2 of 3 locations to win the game. and you have 6 turns to do it. So like you just put down, try and guess where they're going to put their cards and look at like what heroes have, like certain things. They all have like different abilities. Like Iron Man, if you put Iron Man down, he doubles your power on that stage. So everybody always plays him last just to be like, okay, now we have 20 points instead of 10. So he's basically like it's Machina of the game, where it's just like you're not winning, but now we have Iron Man, so now you've won. But I do notice that it's kind of tricky where it comes to sometimes you get a draw, and it's very tricky as to whether it will count the draw as a win or not. Because I've had one game where I had one and there was a draw, and it told me it was a victory. And then the next time that happened, it told me I was defeated. And I was like, but I have 2. One is a draw and one is a win. That should have counted. I've gotten to the point of being able to like edit the decks. Also, I have enough cards now where I can edit the decks. And I was like, oh, this is like my new favorite thing. It's just editing decks in these digital games.
Hell yeah.
Like even I was at the laundromat earlier and I was just like, oh, I gotta take Medusa out and put this one in, and then
God, I love deck building.
That one's very fun to play when I've exhausted my patience with Magic or Lorcana. So far, I have not found a way to play Yu-Gi-Oh yet. So Roy, if you want to teach me Yu-Gi-Oh, you can do that.
Yu-Gi-Oh, it would be Master Duel, Dueling Book, stuff like that. There's old video games that are helpful too. Master Duel is probably the easiest way to learn in the modern time because it automates everything. Dueling Book though is complete. Well, Master Duel is free, but like you can buy packs. Dueling Book, you have access to all the cards because it's like a fan project kind of thing. But the thing with Dueling Book is that it doesn't automate anything. You have to do everything yourself. So if you don't know the rules, it's not going to be like, do this. So I'd probably start with Master Duel if I was learning the game.
Okay.
And Master Duel is free. It's on Steam. It's on mobile too.
We'll see what happens by the next. But the last thing on my list is Wordle, which I
God save the best for last.
Yeah. There's apparently a Discord activity now for Wordle. And so in my private server, I played it one day. And now every morning it's like nobody else guessed yesterday. Should you try this today's? So I will play that. And usually like, get up in the morning and I check my phone and like Discord notification, play Wordle. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, what a
I've had like the
nightmare.
best like 7 streak Wordle 7-day streak in Wordle now because of Discord. So
the only thing I wish with the Wordle app is if you could just do it in browser and it like connected to your Discord.
Yeah, because I remember I was doing it in the browser, but I didn't sign in. But it's just remembering because I've left that tab open. And then
it remembers cookies.
But then in Wordle, it was like, oh, do you want to play today? And I'm like, I already did it in the browser. So now it's like, wow, you guessed it in one. And I'm like, yeah, because I did it in the browser. If you would let me link these.
Gosh.
I always just like copy over what I did in the browser to it because it feels cheesy otherwise. But I just don't feel like copying it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's a good thing Leah brought all the games because we weren't bringing many, it seems, this week. 2 weeks, whatever. Carrying the podcast on our back.
All the free games I can find.
True.
I can always ramble more about Magic if need be, but
we can bring Matt's soapbox up just to talk about Magic.
I don't really have anything to complain though, except that they need to bring banding back, but nobody's gonna agree with me.
Okay, to be fair though, again, soapbox is not just for complaints.
Oh.
But I take it that we're moving on to the next section. Should I begin that then?
Yeah, you can start, sure. Introduce it.
All right, cool. Then in that case, no soapbox today. Discussion topic time, baby. Let's go.
Go ahead.
As mentioned at the top of the broadcast, today's discussion topic is sports games. A topic that I'm pretty sure is mostly for me and nobody else within this podcast.
We gotta even out the nerd shit with the card games. That's what we're talking about this now.
I mean, technically, you could argue it's a sport, but
hey,
we're gonna go over probably half of it. Just gonna be me. I'm gonna bet. Sports games that you got into because you like the sports. What counts as a sport game? What sports games you even play, because needless to say, I don't think a lot of us are super sports gamey guys and girls and stuff like that. Sports you'd like to try as a video game but haven't. Why doesn't Cardjitsu have a sports game
I
already?
think we need to talk about Kajitsu, yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna say let's begin with Cardjitsu.
Yeah, well, where to start? Yep. While Roy was doing his making his peanut butter sandwich before the recording, Leah and I have been looking at sports stuff, and we did find out that there's a Kajitsu sport where people wrestle and fight inside of a car, and that's apparently a real thing that happens, and it's crazy. And I would like to see a video game of that, but so we have in the notes as one of our general questions to use or whatever, something like what sports lends itself the least for a video game. Kajitsu is an example that is not only nonsensical in real life, but it also would make no sense in a video game. You could not make a video game, I don't think, where you wrestle a guy inside of a car, but you would have to be real creative.
Cardjitsu, I'm telling you right now, Cardjitsu is exactly like some itch.io
Sure.
game that's like an hour long. It's got that exact energy.
Yeah.
They have wrestling games. Just well, not only that, like you could have like a little arena inside the car.
I mean, they have
You could have the
wrestling
car
games.
be driving.
Just make
It
the rings
drives left
smaller.
and right. It shifts your player left or right. You could easily do a video game with Cardjitsu. I don't think it's difficult.
That is a concept. If a developer would figure that out as a functioning game, I would be
Coming soon to
incredibly
the next
impressed.
game jam.
Even in real life, the
Cardjitsu 2K7.
participants can barely move in that narrow space. How are you going to make that work in a video game? That is.
I mean, why not? There's a whole bunch of games that are based around like limited spaces to move in.
Yeah, but like I said, you have to be real creative to make that work.
You could script it like the car, like tag, sort of, where like if you punch them, they go out the window slowly, and they have to like either punch you out of this window or you punch them out of that window.
You can. It's basically Urban Champion, but in a car at minimum.
I don't know what Urban Champion is, but that's a thing as well.
Bro doesn't know what Urban Champion is. I got a link. Urban Champion, very very important game.
I think that's a general problem though with a lot of sports games that don't necessarily lend themselves to video games, but that become video games for some reason. There's sports games that work as a video game, but others don't, and the developers just make it a sort of it's so. What's the word? So removed from the real thing. It's so abstract in the actual gameplay that it doesn't really represent the sport it's trying to do. For example,
Wii Sports.
Yeah, Wii Sports, I guess. Or there's those Mario and Sonic Olympic Games things.
Olympic.
And they have shit like, I don't know, rhythmic gymnastics and whatever, which is I find interesting, but as far as I know, it's just like pressing a couple random buttons. You don't really.
That's to be fair. That's because they're just
rhythm game
collections. They're not really sports games in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but that's just an example. There's plenty of games I feel where the actual sport or subject or whatever is so abstract that the actual inputs, the actual gameplay, don't actually bring across the concept of the sport. And then it's like, what's the point? And it's like the saddest sports game. The same, you couldn't make. I guess rhythmic gymnastics is a sport that exists, and it's I would say popular since it is at the Olympics. It's not like an everyday sport that people root for, but it is a sport that is a big thing. But does not exist a single video game that is actual quality purely based on that sport. And I assume it is partially because how would you actually make it into interesting gameplay and not just have a basic rhythm game that isn't worth creating? You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like this is personal opinion time. I feel like maybe the bigger obstacle to gymnastics is that while it is like an Olympic sport, it's probably not the kind of sport that people are paying a bunch of money to buy a video game of, is how I'd put it more.
Yeah.
Like,
But why is that?
because something like NFL football has like 20 million people watching it weekly just for one game, and probably like 100 million unique viewers. And people watch gymnastics, a lot of people, once every 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's gymnastics games.
There's like Pro Gymnast Simulator on Nintendo Switch.
But
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you know more about those, but aren't they all basically basic button input games?
I think that, they're just basically, yeah.
I don't think Pro Gymnast Simulator is, but it's not really it's more one of those wacky simulation games, is how I'd put it.
Oh.
Even though it's not like rhythm, as far as I remember, but it's not like actual gymnastics. There's another thing I'll say too. One thing about gymnastics is that it's comparatively single player.
Single player?
But take like football or baseball. It's two teams competing against each other.
Right, yeah.
And you're like actively like playing at the same time. In gymnastics, it's like one person goes, the other person goes. It's more like a single
so
player
is like
experience.
golf.
Yeah.
A lot of golf games.
That's fair. Although
and
I feel like
bowling, there's a lot of bowling games.
Very true.
Yeah, true. Although I do feel like bowling got significantly more popular with Wii bowling. I think that's partially just because it lends itself to motion controls.
Yeah.
Elf bowling
That
existed
is very
before
helpful.
Wii bowling. I'm gonna say elf bowling popularized.
Now I'm wondering best-selling bowling games.
We are pretty much on the same page here that there's definitely sports that objectively lend themselves more to a video game format than others.
Yeah.
And obviously, team sports is gonna be more higher on that list because there's this immediate competition going on for sure.
Or just generally sports where you're playing against someone else at like the same time. I feel like boxing isn't team per se,
right?
But one-on-one fight.
It even lends itself to like racing games too.
Yeah.
Like you're only one person in the car, but there's 6 other cars or whatever on the track as well.
Like NASCAR games, I love those games, and there's 43 other, there's 42 because you're counting yourself, I suppose, other cars at once. So it's definitely not a single, all-alone experience for sure.
So, despite this, this explains obviously why there are no more rhythmic gymnastic games. I'm gonna be sad about that for a little while longer, I guess. But like, I was wondering, do y'all have sports that you think would lend themselves to a video game, but you don't see them at all, and you wish there was a thing?
Chess boxing.
I would love that actually for real. Like, that would be actually dope.
I mean, I'm only a little bit kidding because I feel like if you create a good boxing game with a solid like chess game, it would actually be fun to have to really quickly swap between them, kind of thing.
And these days we even have VR boxing, which is like actually cool.
VR chess.
Just combine those. I would actually so play that shit. I played that Creed game on VR, which was actually dope.
Oh, I want that.
I would love to see more like that. Put chess in there and I'm all down.
I mean, that does sound fun.
There's another thing that I keep thinking about when it comes to sports games I wish existed. We have all of these board sports that are hugely popular. We have the skating games, we have the snowboard games, we have even things like wakeboarding got quality titles. There's a little thing, much, much less known, but still popular enough in the board sport communities called snow skate.
What?
Yeah, it's a skateboard without wheels that you slide along snow, and you basically make regular as skateboard tricks, but you slide along snow instead of rolling on wheels. That's literally all that it is. It's skateboarding for the winter season.
All right.
And because I love that so much, I keep hoping for a video game to properly like focus on that. I found in my research there were 2 games that actually had snow skate DLC or like side content. One of them EMP2 on, I believe, the original Xbox, and more recently Riders Republic, which I think is on modern systems. But there has never been a focused, proper, only snow skate game, and I would die for that shit. We have had so many weird, experimental, I would say, side board sport games over the years. When are we finally getting a snow skate one? And you wouldn't even have to like reinvent the wheel, since you can adopt all like most, if not all, the mechanics from your whatever popular skateboard game. One day, man, I really want to see this.
I mean, honestly, that does sound like a pretty good time. Riders Republic, that was the only thing I'd ever heard of that had anything like this. And by heard of, I mean Googled once,
Yeah.
mind you. But I also feel like you could definitely do interesting things with changing up the mechanics with snow compared to a normal Tony Hawk kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, it would be really easy, you know. We need a new Tony Hawk game with a gimmick. Tony Hawk's snow skating.
There you go.
Bam.
Yeah.
Video game.
I'll pay $60.
Seems like an idea to me. I mean, especially considering there haven't been that many new Tony Hawk games. That's my brain. Why not? I would be down with that.
Yeah.
The moment that ESPN Ocho gets its own video game with all of these in there, like Olympic style, that would be a great video game to play.
That would be cool. I mean, they have like the Deadliest Warrior game and stuff. They could easily do like ESPN
Yeah.
Ocho
The
games.
Deadliest Warrior.
Yeah. What I always like about having those Olympic games is that so many of those sports get to shine in a video game.
Oh.
They don't get their own like actual full-fledged game. So it's always nice. Like even with like Switch Sports, you know, they added some things that were in Wii Sports. And I was like, this is cool. I like to get to know about new, as you can see from this episode, I like to learn about new mechanics and sports. So anything that they want to do, like quirky, weird sports or whatever. Like one of my favorites when I was younger was the Snoopy's Silly Sports. And that was just like, you know, stupid stuff. But it was like, oh, this is fun. And I swear there was another game that I used to play on NES that also had like log balancing or whatever the actual title of that sport is. And I wish I was trying to look for it and I can't figure out what even the sport is called. But even like make like the Highland games into a video game. Like I want that kind of like quirky cultural stuff. Like give me, you know, that, what is that game where they like climb up the wall? There's like a pole and everybody like starts climbing the wall or whatever.
What the hell?
Oh no, look this up. Pole climbing sport.
Pole climbing sport.
Netherlands. Traditional sport of Netherlands, yeah.
What the hell? My country neighbors do this shit?
Pole leaping, it's called. Greasy pole climbing is what I was
Greasy?
referring to.
That sounds like a video game.
Greasy pole
Right, like,
climbing sounds like a video game?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I want this
I
random
was looking,
stuff. This is in Philly.
If I was on
There's also pole
itch.io
leaping.
and I saw greasy pole climbing, I'd be like, yeah.
That sounds like a 2015 indie game that every like YouTube content creator would play at the time. Some rage game.
The log rolling is the other one that I
Log rolling.
talking about. Log rolling. Balancing on floating logs in the water. That's like intense. I know that there was a game that I played like that when I was younger, but I can't seem to remember what the
I could really see very interesting
that
gameplay
kind of stuff.
mechanics with that.
I want there to be a game where it's like global games, like obviously everybody in this country knows about this game, but nobody else does. And it's like, oh, I want to learn about the world through like the games that they play, you know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So that's what I want. I want more quirky games that you're just like, what the hell is this? But it's like, oh yeah, everybody in that country knows about it.
All right, if we going away from the,
I'm curious what America's would be.
I'm gonna restrain from answering this
Got some
question.
weird shit, so.
So that's like for the obscure stuff, but like, how about we talk about the, like, I guess more obvious and more popular games? We could look at, yeah. I mean, there's
I could just talk about some of my favorites, honestly.
My favorites over a time, like I started with ice hockey on the NES.
oh my god,
Yeah.
Excite Bike. I had Super Baseball 2020 on the NES, Super NES. Then it went to
2020.
Hot Shots Golf, which I don't think I even had the full game. I think it was just a demo I played, but that taught me golf. I specifically went out and bought. I thought there was going to be a point where I learned how to play tennis. So I was like, I don't know what the rules are of tennis. And Pro Tournament 2 Smash Court Tennis was at the store for like $5 or something. So I bought that to learn tennis at home. And then I never actually bought a racket or learned tennis in real life. But I played that as much as possible on PlayStation 2s. And then also on GameCube, there was the Quidditch game.
Right. I had
I've
that.
been to and almost played quad ball in real life.
You decided you're gonna be a better person and not.
I remember I specifically bought sneakers just to play quad ball, and then where I made it to the meetup, but then apparently it was like rained out or whatever. So I was like, all right, I guess we're not doing this. Like, you can play it rain or shine, but apparently people were too weak to play it in the rain. So, and then I just never got around to finding out when the next meetup was going to be.
Couldn't even cast rain protection spell.
Yeah. So I mean, I still watch every once in a while on Twitch, but
right.
The International Quad League ever comes around to having enough money to make their own game, I will play that game. But not any of this WB shit. So, yeah. And basically anything else that, like, outside of, like, Punch-Out, any other sports game that I've played recently has been a Mario sports game.
Oh my fuck. Okay, whatever.
Damn.
Whatever.
I mean,
So,
the Mario
like,
sports games, I want to get into them more, but they're not bad. Obviously, they're not very traditional sports games, but
yeah. Specifically, anytime that there's a new soccer, golf, or tennis one, that's my shit. Obviously, like Mario Kart also, but like those three, I'm like, give me a new one every system we get, and then that will be my golf, soccer, and tennis for that system.
yeah. Mario Kart's always weird on if it even counts, honestly.
Yeah, you could have an argument there.
Yeah, like it's their racing, sort of, but yeah. If they were smart enough and they brought back Diddy Kong Racing, that would be great, but we don't have that anymore.
I gotta say, I've never been a big Diddy Kong Racing fan, but I get why people are.
I just like the fact that there were different type. Like, I know that Mario Kart now technically has like the gliders and everything, but it's not as fun to me.
The different
as
types of vehicles were nice. I always thought
Yeah.
just controlled kind of badly, honestly.
It did. It did. But that's something they could figure out. Like,
It is. That's true.
I'm still hoping for that. The two things that are like trapped in Rare's history that I want back is Diddy Kong Racing and the Lost Vikings. Give me those.
Well, at least you got Kirby Air Ride. You got that.
Yeah, well.
That's the closest it seems we're gonna get.
Jesus, that's so far away from like an actual motorsport definition.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
When does the sports game end and the non-sports game begin? Should I just start going off on sports games then?
Sure, man. Give it to us.
NASCAR Thunder 2003, baby.
Oh my god.
One of the best racing games of all time, especially if you like a career mode. And I even checked something. I've been playing NASCAR Thunder 2004 over the past year, I should say, sorry. And it might even be better than 2003, which is impressive. But I decided to check. I played it for 53 hours. That counts time I've paused and gone to do something else, but still. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've spent so much time on sports games in my life. Because that's not even close to the longest I've spent on most of these games. But honestly, I am of the maybe hot take, maybe not opinion that at least older sports games are generally underrated. Where I think a lot of people just kind of bucket them as sports game. But a lot of them are actually very interesting, complex, and impressive until it gets to the point where, like, basically gambling, on an ultimate team and shit takes it over, and then they stop giving a fuck, basically. But like NASCAR Thunder, especially 2004, I'm really impressed by the depth of NASCAR Thunder 2004's career mode, because there's a lot of options for car upgrade, how you manage your actual team, which is, like behind the scenes stuff that most people aren't going to think about, but is rather cool. And then one of the cool things about like a career mode with like NASCAR Thunder 2004 is that one, it's going to be different for basically every person, because what tracks you're good at is going to inherently depend on what you're good at as a player. Just like real life, race car drivers are better or worse at specific tracks. So it's always fun to be planning out the season and think, all right, I'm good at super speedways, which is one of the ones I'm good at. So I'm going to be based around trying to put my best car out closer to those races so that I can win, and that's where I'm going to maximize my winner's purse money, which then will let me upgrade my, car or get better sponsors or whatever. Again, I know it's sometimes a joke, but I genuinely think a lot of sports games are kind of like RPGs.
Mhm.
They tend to be heavily based in stats, upgrades, more of a bit of a planning aspect kind of thing. And I actually think that when you think of them as RPGs, they're actually extremely customizable RPGs that have a lot of room for player freedom in what you do with them.
Yeah, but I think they also can lose themselves. I guess just like RPGs, they can lose themselves very quickly in all the technicalities and the complexity. I guess
It depends on the sport, I think. I mean, the other thing is that you don't like for Madden, you really don't need to go into all the heavy duty stuff if you really don't want to.
right.
I do because I'm a sports nerd, but you don't need to do it.
Sports nerd.
That's right, sports nerd.
You are the resident sport.
Pretty much. I feel confident I've probably spent like 4-digit hours on Madden in my life.
Fuck off.
I'm like really confident.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm surprised looking at like my backlog, well, not my backlog, but like all the games that I have on How Long to Beat. I dabble, I guess, is the better term for it. Where it's like I'll play them, but like I'm not serious about any of these games except like maybe Cars. Cars might be the only one that I finished.
The fucking Pixar game?
Cars 3 or which
Yeah.
which
Oh
Cars?
my god.
The first Cars.
Oh, okay. Cars 3 Driven to Win is actually legit, I'm gonna say, as a side note.
So I've heard, yeah. So I've heard.
You can give Lightning McQueen machine guns.
Oh my god.
Oh, I guess I played Punch Out. I finished Punch Out.
I mean, that's the thing, though, anyway, with a lot of these sports games that they oftentimes don't even have like a defined ending anyway. And either they go endless or like the seasons are so long that it's not surprising to me that people don't reach an end if there is one. With a lot of these, especially the team sports.
Yeah, like NASCAR Thunder, because I was just talking about it.
Yeah.
My career mode I did for fun, is full-length races, which means that just like a real race, each race is like 2 or 3
Fuck
hours.
off. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You're doing
What?
Fuck
Yeah, it's
off. You're doing 3-hour races in your NASCAR video game?
Yeah.
Shut.
Now, you don't have to do it. You can do like 10%, for
We shouldn't be
example.
talking with the card game.
God damn it, man.
Mr. Pigeon talking out here like a 3-hour race car game is weird. But no, legitimately. Now, fortunately, because I've been using a sneaky emulator, I can quit in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You actually can't suspend your game normally. You have to do it all in one sitting. I actually remember as a kid, I would do like 100% race length, which is like 3 hours. If I got bored or was tired, I'd leave my game system
Of
on
course.
and just have it on the pause menu, which is funny.
Yeah.
I'd always be afraid of accidentally unpausing it, so I'd put it like 2 menus deep.
My god. That sounds like the ultimate podcast game. Just 3 hours of driving in a circle. Holy crap.
You definitely can make podcasts, though honestly, it requires concentration. It's especially because a lot of trees tracks you have to brake, pump gas, brake. You gotta actually adjust your speed a lot.
Right.
So it's not always easy to I think it's best when you get in a flow state kind
Right.
of thing. I think this is true of most
Yeah,
racing
yeah.
games, but when you kind of just get into that kind of rhythm of how you're moving your vehicle, how you're gas braking kind of thing, that's when it's at its best.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. But fuck off. So 3 hours is the maximum, most realistic or whatever. But you said, in terms of the actual gameplay, you can also just do it 10%, and then it lets you.
Basically, what it is that you choose how much of the real life amount of laps you want to play. So 100% laps is like, let's say a race is 400 laps. You're racing all 400.
Yeah.
But if you did 10%, you're racing 40 laps, which is like probably 20 minutes.
And then the actual results after those laps is counted, or is there like some simulation going on based on that for the rest?
No, it's just counted.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
okay.
that's the race.
Interesting.
And I believe the options in NASCAR Thunder are 5%, 10%, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%.
That is fascinating.
But it might just be 50 to 100. So like you can do like a 5% race, you can complete very quickly. So if you want a career mode where you maybe like go to the pits once, only have to get your gas once, and then you just race kind of thing, you can do like 5-10%. And then if you want the true like simulation experience where you've got to manage your tires, your gas, all that kind of stuff, you can go to like 50%, 100%. I usually did 50% for most of my life because 3 hours is a long time. 50%, that's more like a normal gaming session. But I wanted to do one that was 100% because they are fun. They're kind of unique challenge in a way.
Yeah, I agree. I believe that.
And I also say most sports games don't take that long. Like football. Now, if you want, you can do full 15-minute quarters, no accelerated clock, and it's going to take similar amount of time to an actual football game. But I think a lot of people use accelerated clock. And what accelerated clock does is like, so in a standard football game, when the team, has the ball and a play ends, they have 40 seconds to run the next play. And usually what teams will do is they'll let the clock go down to at least 10 seconds, oftentimes less, before they actually begin their play. So all the accelerated clock does is it automatically just chugs through the first 20 seconds of the play clock. So you're not just sitting around to be accurate to real life.
Mhm.
Since, sure that it's more accurate to just have to sit there for 30 seconds, but most people playing a video game don't necessarily want to do that.
Yeah. My God.
Obviously, real life different. But and I think MLB The Show is pretty accurate. I think it usually does take around 2.5 hours for a. Actually, no, it probably doesn't, but it might. It definitely takes a while to do a game of MLB The Show. But I mean, to give you an idea, I've probably done like 30 franchise modes of Madden in my life alone, probably more. Granted, a lot of them are abandoned relatively early, but like all this creative team nonsense, I've done this so many times throughout my life. I can tell you that for free.
Yeah, MLB The Show average beat times are very often over 200 hours. My God.
Yeah. Well, one thing about MLB The Show is that if you're truly playing the dedicated experience, which usually I'm not, then you play every game of a season or franchise mode. There's 162 games in a baseball season.
Jesus Christ. See, that's why I don't play team
So,
sport games.
no, what I do, and I think what most people do, is that they simulate a bunch of the games and play a select
Right.
few.
Yeah.
Like when I play Madden, I don't play every game in the franchise mode. Partially because, to be fair, I'm good at it, and it might make it too easy if I just play every game. It's kind of fun to see the computer simulating stuff.
Right.
But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll play like 3 to 4 games in a season. Usually like games are important or like right before progression happens, and then the playoffs if I make them. And that doesn't take that long.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no experience with all of these. The only sports games that I have been playing are like single person shit. Like Yeah, all those
Right.
board sports like skateboard, snowboard, whatever, the motorsport shit, or like, I think the
Yeah.
closest that for
Yeah.
me comes to a sort of team sport would be the wrestling games, but like even then, it's like
That's
completely
more of a
different.
solo sport,
Yeah,
it feels like.
yeah. So I have no experience with these big brand seasonal bullshit things.
I would say that because you like racing games, I would legitimately recommend NASCAR Thunder 2003 or 2004. They're just good racing games.
There is a NASCAR game I own on Steam that I've been curious about.
I don't know if it's any good. Unfortunately, a lot of modern NASCAR games kind of suck.
Yeah, but like I said
But
a bit ago, I want to reduce my emulation stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could purchase it in real life. Easy. Just get out your real life GameCube that you definitely own.
Oh, for fucking sure. NASCAR Heat 5 I own. I have no idea if that's any good. It's
Which
got
is it?
positive NASCAR Heat 5. It got positive reviews.
Yeah, I think NASCAR Heat 5 is like fine, as I recall. I think NASCAR Heat 5 was just like okay. Because like after that was like NASCAR 21, and NASCAR 21 sucked.
But I dodged that bullet then.
But because I think to give you an idea, they made NASCAR 21. Then NASCAR 21 sucked so hard they went back to Heat 5 instead to make DLC.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
So that gives you an idea. One thing I do like about NASCAR Thunder 2003 and 2004, though, is that's before they implemented the chase in the, which is like the real life NASCAR playoff system that I fucking hate. And I could go on for so long about that. Like, if we get a soapbox, I can start going off on the NASCAR playoff system. But trust me, you have no. It's probably one of the main reasons I stopped watching NASCAR so much. And I grew up a big NASCAR fan. Like, NASCAR Thunder 2003 is probably one of the first sports games I owned.
That's
Like,
wild.
a true
Yeah.
sport game, and not like Lego Racers.
Yeah.
But,
Maybe we should get away from the motorsports again a bit and more to the
yeah. There's one I want to bring up that's not a motorsports.
with
Is that one I liked as a kid, and I kind of think I may be even underrated. I want to return to is SSX Tricky.
Oh, let's fucking go! That's on my list to play someday.
I was never great at it, but it was really fun.
Yeah, some good snowboarding stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So SSX Trixie, pretty legit. I never tried any of the other SSX games, although I have the like PSP one. But Tricky always seemed like the most fun one anyway, honestly.
Yeah, from my research, that is the most beloved one as well. Like, I keep hearing that, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's pretty fun.
No, like, I'm curious. So Leah said that you play tennis games with the plans of learning the rules and actually playing tennis in real life. That partially already answered a question I was gonna ask anyway. Are there any sports that we actually tried out in real life after playing a game about it?
Hell no.
Nobody had that experience.
Not me.
I want to say ice hockey is what got me started with. Like, I used to watch hockey anyway because my mom is a big hockey fan. But like I didn't know the mechanics, so like playing ice hockey on NES, like learning like what icing
Oh my
is and
God.
like all the different rules and penalties and stuff. And then I was like, I want to buy some skates and I want to learn how to play hockey, but I'm not as graceful as an adult on my skates as I was as a kid. So
Yeah.
I did play roller hockey for a while. That would
Hell
be
yeah.
That's another one that I would like to have roller hockey back as a video game instead of it just always being about ice hockey.
Yeah. I think the closest one for me actually is skateboarding, since I did especially last year I started like a lot of skateboard shit. None of the trick stuff, but just rolling around on it through places.
Rolling.
But that is like, I've been playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater since childhood, but what actually put me on physically on an actual board in real life was more the Olympic Games and their skateboard event and less the video game. So I don't even know if that really counts. Not sure about that.
It's adjacent, I suppose.
Adjacent, yeah. Other than that, no, yeah.
For me, like, I've never really done sports. First off, like, for something like football, like, I'm sure. I'm not. I cannot play football or basketball in a
Oh.
realistic manner, kind of thing. I'm not exactly just gonna get in a race car and start racing around on a track.
Yeah.
The closest you can probably say is like I've done some golf, but I think I actually did golf before I ever played a golf video game.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever played actual golf. I've played
Yeah,
mini
mini
golf
golf. Me too.
tons of times.
I've played mini golf and I think like a single thing of real golf.
God.
Honestly, golf might be fun to return to if I ever had the money for it.
I would just, no, you couldn't get me to play regular golf. I would just be staring at the fields and the birds. I would not be paying attention.
Yeah, same.
Mini,
Where'd Leah go? She's feeding the birds.
Yeah.
Like
mini golf, on the other
mean-
hand, is actual like quality sport.
Mini golf is fun. Honestly, that reminds me real quick. It's kind of wild we have so many golf games, but not a lot of mini golf games when you think mini golf is more video
I
gamey.
Do you think?
Well-
I feel like it's the other way around. I see mini golf games everywhere because they have the arcadey vibe that, like you said, it blends into video
Maybe
games.
I'm just not looking in the right
I
places.
feel like there's tons of
But like
mini
Mario
golf
Golf is like
games.
Mario Golf is golf. Hot Shot Golf is golf. You know what I mean? They're not mini golf.
But that also, for like most games, like obviously I'm not going around shooting up places like GTA, but I enjoy playing GTA a
Jeez.
lot, you know? But it's like,
No,
when it comes to
no.
sports games, it's that sort of thing where it's like, I'll never play this in real life, but at least I can get the
Exactly.
feel of it
Yeah.
in this game, you know?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
there's that aspect to it also, where it's like, yeah, I love this game so much that I also want to see a simulation of it on my screen, even if it's not like an actual live game. But there's also
Yeah.
like, I want to play this sport, but I have no intention of actually, or like no ability to play it in real life, so I'll just play it digitally.
I mean, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, most people can't exactly just go out and start playing football if they want. It's not
Right.
realistic. So it is. I definitely think like living vicariously through video game
Yeah.
is one of them.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. And I mean, I've
Man,
said
that's what-
before, like that. I mean, I love racing games. I love my cars in a fictional sense, but I hate them in real life. So,
Right,
I get that.
exactly.
Yeah, it kind of falls in line with that.
One video game I enjoyed as a kid. I don't think I ever beat it though, but it's also a sport. Is a Bass Hunter 64. Which is kind of a
Fishing.
fun fishing. video
Right.
game. Yeah, fishing's a sport.
That is.
so.
Hey, if we're talking about that,
And hunting.
exactly is a thing
Yeah.
Yep.
that I'm mechanically interested in a video game sense, but I don't like the theme, the subject, the setting.
Right.
Like, I think we've talked about this before, and I think maybe Leah, we were both on the same page. We would love to have a hunting game that's not hunting, that's not killing, that's actually just watching
Yeah.
the animals, photography or whatever.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Snap.
Pokemon Snap, exactly. But in real life, yeah, hunting is a weird thing.
Yeah, there's a few games on my wish list that are sort of like rehabilitate animals and try to get
Yeah.
their populations back up or whatever.
But it's not a sport.
Pretty interesting. It's not a sport, but it's
No,
something I'm
no.
interested in pertaining to animals. But that's it's funny because there's a whole aspect of Red Dead where you have to like hunt animals or whatever, and like that's part of like one of the careers
Mhm.
that you can do on the online thing is you can hunt the animals. There's a conservationist thing where like you can get samples of the animals, you know, hit them with like a tranquilizer dart, get a sample, and like so they can learn about
Mhm.
it. And there's also the other side of it where you can like do the hunting. But like every single time I just start panicking when there's a bear coming at me. So I can't even get near that section of the game because I'm just like I'm gonna end up like shooting this bear, shooting this crocodile just to like get it to not kill me and my horse, and then I'm gonna be sad about it. So I was like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stick to the bounty hunter
Yeah.
and like just dealing with that. 'cause I
Killing
can't-
humans is much easier to handle. Yeah, I agree.
Like it can't touch the animals, but the humans, it's like, well, for some reason it's like the humans, I'm like, well, clearly they're just pixels. Meanwhile, the animals, I'm like, no, they're still
Yeah.
For like a serious thought on that,
my brain is wired.
I
different.
think it's probably because with animals, you already, to an extent, anthropomorphize them and how you think about them. So it's just natural to do it in a video game, not so much with a person. So it's easy to not
Maybe.
do it in a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Person evil, animal pure.
just really quick on the topic of the real life sports stuff. Like, one thing I do have is that the place where I live has like a tennis court. I've thought about maybe one day going out there and trying my hand at it and sucking for like some exercise.
Yeah.
But
Now would
that's
be the
about
time of
it.
year to do that without suffering in the heat.
Right. True. I guess.
Not for me. Not here.
Oh, damn. I'm so sorry.
Still another month before it really gets to that level here.
Well.
Well, yeah, you can prepare for this month, and then next month you can tell us about
Yeah.
your spooky tennis vibes.
Spooky tennis.
Definitely going to happen. Totally not completely unprepared. Just for me to blab about another game, International Superstar Soccer 64 isn't a super complex soccer game, but it is pretty fun. Like basic game, I played that quite a lot when I was younger. Honestly,
Man. And the only if I was thinking about that soccer is like the sport here in Germany, and I was always like the outlier for not giving a shit. And I was thinking about all the soccer video games I have played. They were all like some weird garbage. I remember, I mean, I've said in last episode, I think, or in some previous episode, the only reason why I, as a kid, wanted a soccer game was to give them weird names and just make the weird teams, like you do with Madden and whatever.
right.
The other, like, another soccer game, I remember being hyped for Lego Soccer, not to play the actual sport in the game, just to make weird little Lego figures with it. And that was the only thing I was interested in. Then I got the GBA version because we were a handheld household. And that didn't even really have that stuff. So I was so disappointed in this stupid ass game.
That's sad.
And
you can't even make your Lego minifigure.
Yeah, the only thing I want in my soccer game. I also remember playing a German game called Bolzplatz that came with some magazine or whatever, which was a top-down soccer game with power-ups. And that was the only thing that made that interesting to me. Like, I could not give a shit about any of these team sports. I can't think of a single team sport that I care about in real life or in a video game, and I can't really say why.
I mean, who knows? Maybe give some of them a shot sometime. I could certainly give recommendations.
I mean, I think baseball is fine, but I could never actually.
Sports recommendation.
I could never actually sit down and care about it, really.
I mean, MLB The Show is quite good.
Right. The only sports games like that I care about, like the whole Tony Hawk games and whatever, they're interesting because they are platformers. They are about movement. They are platforming games. That's it. I don't care about them as sports games. Or like mini golf is just like casual arcade fun. And the WWE or whatever wrestling games, they are just again just like goofy character based fighting games. Really isn't about the sport ever for me. It's could not care less. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think the only sport game that I actually played for its technical accuracy and the actual rules of the game was I tried to play a snooker game, simulation game.
Oh.
Because I actually really enjoyed watching snooker on TV for a couple of years. But like playing it, like I'm so bad at it, I never got anywhere. So that was out of the window as well as a video game. I think that's actually the only like simulation like sports game that I would ever care about or did care about.
Billiards is an interesting thing because like I have more fun playing it in real life than I do in a video game. But I think having the little arrows and being like, where is the angle gonna go makes it a lot easier to play in a video game. So I have more fun in real life, but I will lose horribly most of the time.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. For me, as it's probably made clear, I've played a lot of sports games. Both for accuracy and not. I've got 47, for example, on my all-time sports game ranking. Granted, some of those are kind of iffy, like a Mario Kart. But I mean, honestly, sometimes I want to even play a bit more of them because I feel like there's a lot of them I haven't tapped into, like the snow sports and more. I love racing games for sure. I've
Yeah,
mentioned this before.
same.
I've developed more of a passion for them. Although I keep like, is Ridge Racer really a sports game? Probably not, kind of thing.
Maybe.
Ridge Racer is more of an arcade
Yeah,
racer
yeah. Gran
kind of thing.
Turismo is a sports
But
game.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I've wanted to play, like, I have like 2 of the Gran Turismo games downloaded. I've wanted to
Hell
play.
yeah.
I think that sports games are the kind of thing where I think people could look at them more and maybe find more than they think is there, because I think there's a
Yeah,
perception
definitely.
that is true for some more modern stuff, but not always true for a bunch of other stuff, I guess is how I put it. I think there's actually some of my favorite games are sports games, and definitely some of my most played, I'd say. Like I like the 2 MLB the Show games. I've given those 9 out of 10s. NASCAR Thunder 9 out of 10. Madden NFL 7 is actually really good. I'm gonna say it's very legit. If you're gonna try a Madden game, that's the one I recommend starting
Yeah,
with. Is Madden NFL 7.
not me.
And when you do it, you get the PS2 or GameCube versions. You don't get the PS3 or Xbox 360 version. That's important.
Write that down, audience.
Legitimately, the older versions are better because they had the Switch engines, and it
Oh,
wasn't necessarily an easy transition.
man.
Like, I played NBA Jam 99 as a kid, which was like the kind of more simulation NBA Jam game. That was really fun, especially because it had really good announcing. Like, iconic kind of shit. I could start quoting that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
I guess we did identify the joke of the podcast. If it wasn't already clear.
Which to me is funny because I've never tried like real life sports at all.
Yeah, well, in video game terms.
Yeah.
I was on a bowling league. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, that's so
Hey.
not joke.
It's
That's
not.
my jock pastime.
Impressed. Man, I actually do have a bowling alley near my house that I should use more sometime. Bowling's fucking
I'm
fun.
literally looking it up now because I'm like, you know what? It's been like 2 decades. I should get back into this.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, bowling's legit. Bowling, it's easy to play. It's fun to
Straightforward,
master.
yeah.
I own shoes and a bowling ball.
Oh my god.
Oh, you got all the equipment.
Holy crap.
Yeah. I just need to rent the lane. That's all I need.
Ooh. Probably not surprising. I'm the sports guy when between 2 sports games this year, I have 76 hours of gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can keep that crown, king. I'm not gonna rival you on that.
And then I also have like 31 minutes in NCAA football 11. Damn, 31 minutes? That's it? Surely that's longer than just an update.
Surely.
So actually 84 hours of sports games this year.
Fuck.
I'm not counting like my hour in Ridge Racer V or whatever.
Yeah.
One thing I just remembered now is maybe roller derby, but apparently there's Roller Champions, but it's an Ubisoft game. We should
That's
get more
unfortunate.
roller derby games.
Roller derby would be fun. Wasn't there
There
like
was one
roller
recently.
drone
Yeah.
or something?
In
Yeah, roller drone.
Yeah. I've heard about that as well.
It's like third-person shooter mixed with roller skating.
We need more games about dodgeball also.
Now,
Oh,
that
dodgeball.
I would be down for, yeah.
Dodgeball does seem like it would make a very natural video game too.
Okay, dodgeball, yeah.
I miss Knockout City so much.
I did enjoy
When
dodgeball
it
in high
happened.
school. That was good shit.
There you go.
I don't think I've ever played dodgeball in real life.
I'm pretty sure most of my experience is watching that one dodgeball movie and not
Yeah,
liking
that
it.
stupid thing is funny though.
Actually, apparently, that's the whole reason why ESPN Ocho exists, because it was a joke in that movie that ESPN was just going to keep making channels past like ESPN 2 and ESPN 3, and they were just like, at this point, we're up to Ocho. And ESPN liked the idea of having like quirky sports on TV, and they were like, yeah, let's do it.
I see. Okay.
Honestly, that sounds pretty. That's pretty awesome in a way.
Yeah, that movie is the reason why we have Karajitsu to come back all the way to the beginning.
You know, that does remind me. Could there be like a cornhole game?
There are.
That could be.
There are cornhole games, and there is a VR cornhole games that I've been meaning to play forever. That is some good sport right there.
You can go ahead and do some cornhole games for next week.
Yeah, honestly, now that it's not as hot anymore and VR gaming is viable again, I might actually do that.
I mean, that'd be fun. I would be interested.
Put down the cards.
I'm gonna go down the cornhole, everybody. And with that,
Down the cornhole.
And with that, let's go down to the next segment. Why don't we?
Sure. I do want to say one last thing as we leave. My general recommendations for like sports games, if you were looking to try some of them: football, Madden NFL 07 or NFL 2K5. Baseball, MLB The Show 11, but probably a lot of MLB The Show's work. NASCAR Thunder 2003 or 2004. NBA, probably off the top of my head, it was like, what? NBA 2K12, 2K11? I think it was 2K11. And I don't really know enough about a lot of the other sports to recommend a ton of those. But for like the core sports where I played a lot of the games to say, those would be my recommendations.
There you go.
My recommendation is Mario.
Oh, fuck off.
I mean, Mario Kart Double Dash is my 5th highest rated sports game.
Jesus
Yes!
Christ, man.
Yes!
Double Dash fucking rules.
Okay. Let's guess the game time. I need to get out of the sports world, the sports hell.
All right, well,
I don't belong
welcome
here.
to Guess the Sport, where you attempt to guess the sport.
No.
But more seriously, guess the game. You guess the game. More seriously, in terms of the rules, it's a game that we have chosen from the contestants' completion list. Unfortunately, the overlap is difficult between all of us sometimes, but I do have a game you both played.
Hell yeah.
We read off completion comments, their time, and so on to give clues to the people who are guessing, and they get a main story one. If they don't get there, they get a main plus one. If they don't get there, they get 100% one. If they don't get there, nobody wins. We're all losers. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all of it. Normally, there's a bonus if people don't have the game on their completion list because of the difficulty of crossover, but it's on both of your lists, so we don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
No bonus.
All right. Is everybody
I'm
ready?
ready.
All right. The first one is a main completion of 6 hours, 44 minutes by Peking Boo. And they said beat using DDR dance pads.
Be anything.
I told you it was a mean one.
Yeah, you did warn us off mic, I believe. Yeah.
I even asked you if you wanted me to do it.
Yeah.
6 hours, huh? Beaten with a DDR pad.
44 minutes. Yeah.
Well, that could be anything. So, what could Leah and I have both played? Probably Nintendo. Now, what have we played from Nintendo that could use a DDR pad?
I'm gonna say, if you guys get this, then
like at all?
it'd be so dumb. No, yeah, if you guess it here. No, just like with the first one right here. Yeah. It almost feels like you should get a bonus.
What would be funny to be played with a DDR pad? Why would people do that?
So many streamers who do those too. Just like, could be anything.
And what
We just gotta ask Peking Boo, really.
What have we both played?
Did this person even have like a video or anything? No, they didn't. This was a replay for them, by the way.
Next, yeah.
So I guess they decided to beat this game another time with some spite.
Yeah. 6 hours though as well. Like that is a proper game time. It's not some retro
but here's
shit.
the thing: is it 6 hours because it took longer using the pad, or if it's like...
Yeah. It's a very good question. Fuck. Did we have?
Theme game, at least. I mean, the only thing I've played DDR pad was Game Gear.
But I mean, it's highly likely that it's like an emulated game, and then you could just do anything with DDR pad.
I mean, maybe it's just being a DDR game, and you just gotta figure out which one it is.
I beat a DDR game, and I'm gonna put it in notes that I actually played with the pad. I guess nowadays, that makes sense.
I mean, since you could easily emulate DDR games with
Yeah,
controller,
yeah.
it actually would make
Yeah,
sense.
no, you're right. I'm gonna say Yoshi's Island on Super Nintendo, just because I think we might have both played that. That's all I'm going by, yeah. I'm not even sure if 6 hours fits that.
It would be a fast.
I'm going to say Mario 2, Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yo, Matt got it.
Yes, brother. So what was that about a bonus point?
I also want to say I'm almost disappointed because what I was gonna do is my main +1 is 14 hours 40 minutes by Frozen Roy.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Oh no!
Yeah, Matt got it. She doesn't get a bonus point.
That would be 4 points. Are we sure about this? Like 3 for the first level.
We'll just give you 8. We'll give you 8, but we'll give you a little
8.5.
trophy.
8.5. Come on.
Win the title. We give you a little.
You get an emoji.
An emoji.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Let's get the crown emoji. Let's get the crown emoji.
Oh my god.
I mean, you have taken the lead despite your slow start.
Yeah, I am first place right now. Diallo.
I was wondering if someone was just gonna guess it by just figuring out like what the fuck have we even played.
Yeah, I mean that just basically happened.
We really got to get more crossover.
Yeah, or we need to figure out a different system.
Well, we can do ones where just one person has it because we did have that system.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime I'll do one where nobody's actually beaten it.
Sure.
But I'd have to make sure it's a popular enough game that you would still be able to guess it, though.
Yeah. So just for the audience, I'm number 1 with 8 points. Leah's number 2 with 7. Roy's number 3 with 6 points, and Diallo currently number 4 with 5 points.
It tells you how dominant Diallo must have been that he hasn't been on like 4 or 5 episodes, and he's barely behind.
Yeah, and it's still very close between all of us. It's only 1 point difference each, so could change any time.
Yeah. Matt gets the lead until he starts saying what the standings are.
I was 0 points so long. This is insane. This doesn't make sense.
You were.
End of the year is wrapping up.
Yeah. True.
All right. Well, speaking of wrapping up, this was our episode, huh? So
it was.
Let us know about your favorite sports games, everybody. In whatever comment section you see fit, or forum, or Discord, we are around. And I don't know. Don't do too much sports. I heard it's bad for you. That's how I live my life.
Like drugs.
Yeah. And see ya next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Football.
Soccer.